To be able to effectively manage incidents and accidents, as well as prevent the recurrence of unwanted events, it is vital that lessons are learned from any incident or accident that arises. Let us now look at behavior-based safety and see if we can actively participate in a system that is designed around learning from past, current, and potential threats to our OHS system. Behavior-based safety is defined as a pattern of shared assumptions that was learned by a group as it solved its problems of external adaptation and internal integration, that has worked well enough to be considered valid and therefore to be taught to new members as the correct way to perceive, think, and feel in relation to those problems. Culture will inevitably form in any group through spontaneous interactions between the members, leading to patterns and norms of behavior. So your daily routine matters. In any organization, the personal vision, goals, beliefs, values, and assumptions of the leader should be imposed within the group and reinforced as members are recruited and promoted on the basis of consistent thoughts and values. When a new employee is learning the ropes represent the organizational culture, or the way we do things around here. The safety culture of an organization is the produce of individual and group values, attitudes, perceptions, competencies, and patterns of behavior that determine the commitment to and the style and proficiency of an organization's health and safety management. Organizations with a positive safety culture are characterized by communication founded on mutual trust, by shared perceptions of the importance of safety, and by confidence in the efficacy of preventative measures. Every group of people develops a culture. In an organization with a good safety culture, everyone puts health and safety high on the list and adopts the same positive attitudes toward health and safety. This influences the way in which individuals in the group handle new events and decisions. Some key aspects of an effective culture include management commitment. Management commitment should be demonstrated by the proportion of resources, time, money, and people, and support allocated to health and safety management, and by the relative status of health and safety against other business priorities, such as production or cost. The active involvement of senior management in the health and safety system is very important. Visible management. Managers should lead by example when it comes to health and safety. Good managers appear regularly on the shop floor, talking about health and safety, and visibly demonstrate their commitment by their actions, such as wearing PPE, following safety rules, and where appropriate, putting health and safety concerns over commercial considerations. Good communication. Open two-way communication is essential. Questions about health and safety should be part of everyday work conversations. Management should listen actively to what they are being told by employees and be seen to take what they hear seriously. Active employee participation. Ownership of health and safety has to be built at all levels, and the knowledge that employees have their own work is a valuable resource. Employees should be actively involved in safety workshops, risk assessments, or even plant design. Effective health and safety training. Training has an important role to play in improving employees' understanding of not just site-specific hazards and controls, but the principles of sensible risk management. Another approach to identifying the essential factors that will help to create a working environment and safety culture where safer behavior is the norm is to consider the 5 C's. That is, commitment, control, cooperation, communication, and competency. Commitment. Management commitment and leadership is essential. Control. The infrastructure for control is provided by the health and safety management system, such as policies, organizing, planning, and implementing, as well as monitoring and review. Clear responsibilities and objectives are used to control the efforts of the workforce to achieve organizational goals. Cooperation. If the workforce cooperates, for example, contributes because the workers know it is the right thing to do, the culture will evolve positively and objectives will be easier to achieve. Consultation is a key process for obtaining workforce cooperation. Communication. Effective two-way communication goes hand in hand with consultation, cooperation, and control. Workers need to be clear on their responsibilities and objectives and understand and buy in to what management is trying to achieve. Workers' input on the operational practicalities of any change is vital. Competence. An incompetent workforce is unlikely to achieve much. Demonstrable competence in terms of operational activity and risk management is another imperative. Here are some areas where management can show their commitment. Setting realistic, achievable targets for health and safety. Ensuring that health and safety performance is a key performance measure for senior managers. Making consistent business decisions to show the relative importance of health and safety against other business objectives such as production and quality. Being actively involved in proactive monitoring through safety tours. Encouraging open and honest learning from experience and a fair blame culture. Visibly demonstrating expected standards of behavior, such as wearing PPE where required. Providing adequate resources of time, equipment, and competent staff. Providing a good working environment and welfare facilities. And then providing and supporting means of consultation and communication with the workforce. As well as showing commitment, management need to demonstrate clear leadership in health and safety. The key requirements for a leader are to set a clear and credible vision of the future state the organization is trying to achieve. Establish the style and tone of communication, the social architecture and culture. Create an atmosphere of two-way trust between leaders, managers, and the workforce. Visibly demonstrate commitment, persistence, willingness to take risks, accept losses, consistency, as well as self-knowledge, and above all, learning. Behavioral modification programs, which address safety, typically involve some form of workplace observation of unsafe acts or condition. The observers are often specifically trained colleagues, but may be managers or safety professionals. Follow-up on procedures are required for the reporting and recording of unsafe behaviors and for actions to address the issues. The follow-up action can be targeted at the individual, at the team, or the organization, depending on the features of your specific program. Please remember, behavioral change programs are not an alternative to effective engineering controls and sound safety management policies, systems, and procedures, and should only be considered when these essential foundations are established and effective. Behavioral change programs are not a quick fix. It takes time for benefits to show through as measurable change in behavior. It is often thought that behavior change begins with a change in attitude. In reality, the causal link between attitude and behavior is weak, and the reverse causal link between behavior and attitude is much stronger. If a person's behavior changes and becomes incompatible with a corresponding attitude, a state of discomfort known as cognitive dissonance occurs. To resolve the discomfort, the attitude changes to be consistent with the newly adopted behavior. Here are some modification program principles. Behavior can be measured if it is clearly defined and observable. Behavior is a function of its consequences and can be changed by providing appropriate reinforcement and feedback. Praising good behavior is more effective than punishing bad behavior. The antecedents of behavior, such as training, attitude, and motivation, provide an insight into why people behave as they do. Goal setting adds to the positive effects of reinforcement and feedback by involving people in setting changing and achievable targets for behavior change. You can use this 4-step procedure for incident and accident investigation, using your own causal methods to find out the root cause of the incident, and then work toward preventing future incidents and accidents. You also have the documentation that legally is required in order to record and report incidents and accidents. But more can be done than just minimum legal compliance. The choice is yours.